What's up, guys? World Ravager here with a TV show review this time. I'm recording this on my laptop to see how this goes. It'll be the last one of the three of me testing. My phone doesn't have enough space on it, so I can't record on there anymore. And the PlayStation worked fine. I just wanted to test this out as well. So let's get into it. On January 13th, 2023, I finished season 1 of the TV show Legend of Korra, starring Janet Varney. It is a sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender, set 70 years in the future, where the new Avatar is a natural waterbender who has already mastered earth and firebending as well. So she travels to Republic City, which was founded by Aang and Zuko for benders and non-benders to live together in harmony, and as a haven for immigrants from the war, to learn airbending under Aang's son Tenzin, where she also finds crime and anti-bending revolutions tearing the city apart. Since she has already mastered water, earth, and fire, Korra is eager to learn airbending, quickly under Tenzin, but runs into some problems in the nearby Republic City. Having not taken to airbending as fast as the other three in order to let off some steam, she visits the pro bending arena in order to find some inspiration. Korra befriends and joins Mako and Bolin's team, originally being a little bit dysfunctional, but through hard work and determination, they work out their kinks and grow closer together. They also team up to infiltrate the anti-bending movement, but their leader Amon has kidnapped Bolin and others. She is then recruited by Councilman Tarlok to join his task force in hunting down Amon and the other Equalists. Korra struggles to focus on her pro-bending, though, when Bolin reveals his feelings to her, but finds out Korra has her own feelings for Mako. Mako gets hit by a girl named Asami on her moped and falls in love with her immediately, and after a date, Asami says that her father will sponsor their team in the championship. Even while they are training for the championship of pro bending, the enemy grows stronger. Their new friend Asami invites Mako and Bolin to stay with her, but when Korra visits them, she suspects that Asami's father, Hiroshi, is working for the Equalists, so she and the metal bending police investigate. Tarlok takes over control of the metal bending police and increases his control of the city, so Korra, Mako, Bolin, and Asami team up to stop him, despite breaking the curfew put in place by the police and getting arrested because of it. Tarlok imprisons Korra after defeating her, and while in captivity, she starts having visions she doesn't understand. After escaping, she attempts to relax, but is very quickly thrown back into the fray when the Equalists attack. Korra finds out from Tarlok, who has now been imprisoned by Amon, that Amon is Tarlok's brother and secretly a bender himself. Korra and Mako infiltrate an equality rally and expose Amon as a bloodbender, which was an illegal bending technique. Amon removes his mask to prove he was truly disfigured by a firebender, which causes the Equalists to trust Korra even less. Korra and Mako engage in a fight against Amon, in which he uses his blood bending to take them down and take away Korra's bending, but without her other three bending abilities, she finds her airbending and uses that to take him down and reveal that his scar was a fake, and his followers finally believe her, which leads them to flee in defeat. Korra celebrates the winner of the Equalists, but mourns the loss of her bending, but then has a vision from Aang where she is then returned with all of her bending abilities. Personally, this show is honestly not as bad as I expected it to be going into it with my original viewpoint. The story is not that bad, and as much as I'm confused what they're going to do with another 3 seasons after this one, considering the season 1 finale, I don't mind what they've done with it so far. I do have a lot of problems with it though, such as the fact that lightning bending was such a complicated thing in the original show, but now everyone that can firebend seems to have mastered it. Blood bending was a super rare, if not unheard of thing that Katara had learned, but now there are at least 2 more people that also know about it. Korra learned her bending way too fast compared to Aang, and even when all but her air bending were taken away from her at the end, she magically got them all back by having a vision from Aang. I liked almost all the characters in the original show except for Katara and Toph, really. But in this show, I don't really like any of them specifically that much except for Tenzin, and that's really only because of his voice actor. It's a fine story and nice continuation, but lacks in the character and interest development, and at least for me, versus the original. The Legend of Korra is an original TV show created by Nickelodeon as a continuation of Avatar: The Last Airbender. The voice acting for this show is fine, no characters I really have a problem with in their voices, but no one exceptional either until you get to Tenzin, played by J.K. Simmons, who may be my favorite character in this show purely because of the casting choice, so I commend them for that one. The fact that Korra has mastered firebending earlier than Aang did sets a different tone for this show's lighting, as she also seems to use firebending as her go-to instead of waterbending, where she comes from. The fact that the characters designed are hand-drawn and then transferred onto computer for animation is still more impressive to me than using CGI to create a character to start, so I do like that aspect. The animation for this show is incredible, as all scenes are hand-drawn and then animated afterwards, and the style is very good, and at least something good that transfers over from the previous show. I didn't really have high hopes for this show, as I just saw it as the inferior version of its predecessor, but after watching it, I would say that it's better than expected, and there are some interesting parts. The concept of a society centered around bending and sports, too, is cool, and what Aang had done since the end of the last show is very impressive. I wouldn't say there's any boring parts, just some parts that are not as entertaining as others. The message that the first season seems to convey is that you can't know everything on your own. There's always going to be someone who knows more than you, and you need to learn from others in order to better yourself. Objectively, Season 1 was memorable, as this was the first time we've seen anything since the Avatar's original show finale. The highs were very dramatic and had a cool, brand new villain who posed a very real threat to the protagonists. There's good humor with it, usually by the comedic relief Bolin, but general humor throughout as well, thrown in by all the characters. The conflict between the benders and anti-benders gives a good plot point, as well as it is certainly a predicament that seems to cause a possibly unsolvable problem. If you are a big fan of Avatar The Last Airbender and want to watch more set in that universe, then this show is for you. And if you're looking for more of the same as the original, though, you're going to have to rewatch it because this show is not the same. It's different, some things good, some things bad, but has potential, not necessarily to be better than the original, but still a good enough show on its own. Overall, I still say it's a very good TV show by itself, and I would give it an 8.6 out of 10.